So let's kick spooky season off with American Horror. Boom, boom, boom. I'm waiting for my herbal refreshing treat to kick in. So this should be quite an episode. American Horror Story. Delicate. Delicate like Kim Field's husband. Delicate. I would say I'm very delicate. Intricate. So we open unto the woman, he said, I will multiply thy pain and thy conception. In pain thou shalt bring forth children. Another Genesis quote. We had 2 Genesis quotes in 24 hours. So we open with Heifer Roberts sleeping. She holding her belly. She think her man grabbed her hand, but she like, wait a minute, he ain't home. And a shadowy figure jumps off the bed and is looking at her. Now she chasing the shadowy figure down the hall. So he run out. She called a popo. So the police is hassling her about sending somebody, but they go on and say they're sending someone. But then she sees a picture of some cells splitting on the floor and picks it up. And her hands are covered with blood. And so then she realized she's bleeding and possibly miscarried, so she starts screaming. And we flash to a week earlier. She getting out the shower to a message on her phone. It's her husband who's supposed to meet her at the clinic. He tell her she late for her appointment, already setting up for the gaslighting, because she's like, I checked it 3 times. So she rush on down to the clinic. So she walk out of her building and see some heifer smoking, looking weird on the sidewalk, like she talking to a dead rat. No, it was a bird's nest with a dead embryo in it. She peep at it and run to the subway. But then she sees a poster of herself in a movie, The Auteur. She got to take a picture of it. But then she get on to the fertility clinic. So they give her a little twilight anesthesia before we get to the process. The husband's hopeful. Oh, they have unexplained infertility. One of them heifers is haunted. So she goes under during the commercial break and after she waking up. So they got 9 eggs and they want her to go on progesterone to prep that UD. So they wheeling her out and she's like, this really hurts. This ain't normal. So as she leaving the facility, some crone comes up to her and says, I know you. And the heifer say, oh, thanks for watching, because you know she an actress. And she's like, watching? Her name's Miss Preacher. And then she walk out of the hospital and see the same creepy girl from in front of her building. So after that, they head to lunch. So they pick out baby names in schools, and then the heifer head home, petting the dog, getting ready for bed. And she takes one of her nightly suppositories. But then she ends up pulling a web-like thread from her hair after shoving it in. Oh, Lord. So now we got this heifer meeting with her agent, who is Kim. A fitting role. Oh, goodness, she's going to be on Bravo with Andy Cohen alone on Thursday. So she tell her about wanting to have a baby and going to the doctor and might be hopeful. Oh, and we find out Kim Kardashian's IVF journey didn't work. And they met at an IVF support group. So now she back with her husband and they're nervously waiting for news about the embryos, that is. Oh, and he had a former wife that died. Ambrose. Oh, Lord, the husband pulled a spider out her hair. They get home and Anna done left out the prophylactics. So they're going to dinner after that. But the husband got to stop by and check in with the gallery. 30 minutes in and an hour since I ate it and I still don't feel a thing. But I gotta go change my laundry. So the heifer walk into dinner and hear footsteps, but nothing comes of it. Oh, Lord. So we out to dinner with the friends and they artists and they working with somebody that looks like the dead wife. So Emma running the pisser to gather herself. She called Kim and asked her if the hubby's still in love with Adeline and Kim like she did. So the friend come in and apologize for bringing up the dead wife. I feel like they're gonna try to reincarnate the dead wife through this baby and spider magic. The friend gives her this deep red lipstick. Then she sees some woman in a stall with really pretty shoes, spiky shoes, but she steps back like kind of hiding. The doctor called and they got 2 embryos. So now she gonna have to miss her Andy Cohen interview. Oh, Lord. So she go home that night and end up looking at the wife's obituary and she got a bunch of hate comments calling her old and the wife was prettier, it's a shame. Why are you reading that? But then she sees that her embryo appointment has changed from 11 to 12. So she cancels her appointment for the egg transfer. So they move it up to 10. So as she getting ready to go on Andy's, she see that dead bird in the nest again. But we got Andy on this show because you know Sissy Murphy gonna kiss his butt. Oh God, we got that crone in the audience. Miss Parnassus or whoever. Oh God, now that doll that Kim Kardashian had her sign is following her. So she get home and nobody there. She hears somebody and she's like, Dex, but then she looks in the knife that she grabs and she sees that Parnassa heifer behind her. So she called her husband, he had his opening. She was like, I didn't know that was tonight. Somebody didn't change one of her sticky notes. So she's like, I'm ahead there, and then she puts on that heifer lipstick. So she walking into the opening and she see that weird heifer from in front of her building. But she's doing the red carpet and the heifer's behind the velvet rope. Oh Lord. So we looking at menstrual blood art at this exhibit. Oh, and we see Sonia. No, she don't look like the dead wife. I mean, kind of in that white woman way. Oh, and it's the spiky shoed heifer. Oh, the husband don't want it there. She screams and he's like, you're not fine. You can't bring this in here. This is my night. So it's embryo time and she's in the stirrups. However, when they stick the embryo in her, she sees that Mrs. Pummelwar's heifer and suddenly her mouth stitched shut. Oh Lord, she gives her a bloody kiss, but then she wakes up still holding the embryo card. The husband asks her how she feel, and now she back in bed. Very flash. So now we back to that shadowy figure rubbing her belly at night. And somebody wrote on the mirror, don't do it, Anna, with that lipstick. And child, that was the shit, so I'm gonna see you soon for something. Let's see if there are any trailers out I wanna see. I think this was a great first episode, but we know it's gonna get disappointing. Oh Lord, a BET Plus original, a 2-part movie. Love and Murder Atlanta. And we got Taye Diggs and his high booty taking the lead. Back in Atlanta in '96, we have Taye lying by the pool in a smoker's jacket. Girl, he's a tech guru who set up 911 for the city. At least these dated houses and clothes have an excuse. Oh Lord, his wife is Keisha Sharp. Now Keisha can actually act. Why isn't she getting better work? April Jones is one of Taye's hussies in this movie. Because, of course, he got to cheat on his wife with 80 women. Bambi's in this, too? How is Taye Diggs in these movies? Didn't he get real movies? Isn't he a real, like, B-list star? Oh, goodness. So then Taye gets murdered, and we got to figure out who done it and why. Young Jock is in it, too? Okay. I can't. When does this come out? Oh, this come out tomorrow. Remind me to review this. That looks good. That looked good.